Hello, and welcome to another episode of Fancy Sheep Reads. We're your hosts, the Fancy Sheeps, and the Fancy Sheepettes.
Yep, the Fancy Sheepettes.
Today, we are reading in honor of Season 3 starting up. Well, Season 2, Part 3. Starting up, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure fanfics. I know Cabrera's read it.
Oh, I've been practicing.
This is probably the closest he's gonna get to a Rocky Horror fanfic.
If only, if only.
Alright. So our first fanfic is called Kilts by Aisling A. Lopez.
Oh, we're reading that one first, okay?
Yeah.
Okay. Shit.
Oh yeah, we're reading two fanfics by the way. One for part 1 and one for part 3. Because they're both relatively short and it seems right.
Mm-hmm.
Alright. Okay,
Yeah.
Kilts. Although Jonathan had worn a kilt many times in his life before this, never before had he ever felt this exposed. Jonathan/Dio, Dubcon / non-con, and kilts, as requested by my girlfriend.
Hey.
Alright. Manuel will be taking the role of narrator for this first fic, and Cabrera will be playing Dio Brando.
Yep.
And I would be speaking for the part of Jonathan, but he doesn't talk at all throughout this whole thing. He just sits there and takes it.
Shit, I'm the only one that talks here?
Yeah. Well, Manuel gets to narrate.
Well, yeah, but like, shit. Okay.
Alright.
You're talking with me, even though I think it's is it Jonathan who's
Dio.
Who's doing the thing?
Brando.
No, Jonathan's getting done.
Okay.
Dio Brando. Dio Brando.
Alright. I'll let you take it away, Manuel.
Ridges, allow me to take you on a world of adventure, sweep you away, if you would. Although Jonathan had worn a kilt many times in his life before this, never before had he ever felt this exposed. Something about Dio's hands invading his thighs gave him a sense of utter exposure. He swallowed back his protests, only because his father was in the next room, and if he made a scene, it would only cause him more trouble.
Something the matter, Jojo?
Dio's cold, quiet voice in his ear caused him to shudder. Kelly?
What?
That's
Oh.
not me. That's still Dio.
No, I know, like, shudder.
Oh.
Oh.
Manuel, you want me to put sound effects? Jesus.
Yeah,
God,
come on.
This isn't a real production.
Come on.
Ugh.
Aren't you going to gripe like you usually, usually? Yep, it's off to a great start.
What happened to your
Usually
voice?
do.
Jonathan bit his lip to silence himself. He wouldn't give Dio the satisfaction of him getting in trouble for this. He gasped more loudly than he meant to when Dio moved his invasive hands to his butt now. He could feel his adopted brother's fingers trace along his inner thighs, running along his buzz and to his opening. His opening. He gritted his teeth, but otherwise remained silent.
Yeah, that's gay.
Well, if you aren't going to protest, who's to say you don't want it, right, brother?
Dio whispered in his ear, digging his fingernails into his butt. He forced Jonathan to bend over, causing him to lean against the nearby mirror for support.
Still nothing.
Jonathan ground his teeth together and dug his nails into the mirror's wooden frame, but he did not speak. He made no noise whatsoever, not even as Dio inserted a finger into him. This sort of thing had become almost routine. What the fuck? And Jonathan was ashamed at how
Remember all
easy
that
it was
in the manga.
for Dio to insert another finger.
It's all happened.
Word for word.
Yeah.
He
This
leaned
actually
his
isn't
flustered
fanfic. It's just a written version of what happened.
He leaned his flustered face against the cold mirror, looking behind him at his brother. Dio ran his tongue over his teeth in an animalistic display of dominance.
What?
Jonathan bared his fangs back at him, but Dio was well aware of who was in the submissive position currently.
Is this like, are they dogs? Did we miss something?
Wolf.
Something he made even
Yeah.
more apparent as he inserted a third finger.
Jesus Christ.
This caused Jonathan to whimper pitifully, something that Dio ate up with delight as he leaned over and ran his tongue across Jonathan's ear.
Much like
Hey,
you would
Kelly.
eat people later on.
Kelly, whimper.
I'm not gonna whimper.
Kelly, whimper.
Boof!
We're up here, bitch. Metal did it. We're good.
Alright, no wait, now I need to do the...
Dio, I do not appreciate this.
Imagine though, he can hear it right in his ear. Right. Serious. Does it hurt, Jojo? Why don't you beg your father to save you?
That would be really weird. Dad, stop Dio from butt fucking me.
God damn it, son.
Stop it, it's a bitch.
He hissed with a wolfish grin on his lips. I don't think wolves hiss. That'd be
This
weird.
is- They're getting their animal metaphors here very mixed up.
I don't care.
Also, see, this furthers my theory that they're dogs now.
Yeah.
Why don't you cry like the pathetic child you are?
This is also a Wolf Rain crossover.
Wolf Rain crossover.
Shout out
Jonathan
to Wolf Rain.
bit his lip so hard he thought it would bleed. He dragged his nails against the wood of the mirror frame in frustration and a stubborn will to be silent still.
Wolf Rain's really bad.
Much to his surprise, Dio removed his fingers. He turned his head to look at him, and Dio just smiled smugly.
Did you think it was over?
He asked, and inserted his fingers pressed inside of him.
Instead.
Instead of fingers pressed inside of him, now he only felt the head of Dio's cook.
Don't be Shit.
That's the sound Jonathan.
Makes a nice little sound. Shit. Don't be ridiculous, Jojo. You haven't even cried yet. Don't. Fuck, not British enough.
He
Alright.
ground his teeth together as Dio pushed inside of him with such ease that it embarrassed him even more. Dio's cold hands shoved his forehead hard against the mirror, forcing him in place as he began to thrust in and out of him. Jonathan panted and moaned, even as Jonathan violated him repeatedly.
Jonathan violated himself. Yes.
He had.
I'm thinking.
Don't worry about it. I'm in.
Okay,
I'm.
this is
I'm
clear-
in.
this
I'm
has
in
to be
momentum.
before-
You ruined my momentum, Kaber.
Oh my
I'm
god.
sorry. I'm sorry you were in the momentum of two men fricking.
Fracking.
So, question.
Yeah.
This clearly has been going on for a while, according to this fan fiction.
hmm
And I don't remember, but I think it was like 18 or 16 that Dio became a vampire.
Where are you going with this?
They're like 15 at the
They're
moment.
like high school. and shit.
Well, Dio.
That's weird. Man.
What matters is.
That's weird, bro.
What matters is that their necks are wider than their heads.
Is he even gonna become a vampire at this point? Is he just gonna keep buff fucking him? Just saying.
He had grown accustomed to the feeling, and even as he tried not to enjoy it, Dio was obstinate. That he did.
Come on, Jonathan. Remember your girlfriend. That was a thing.
Before
kid.
long, he felt his brother's hand around his own erect cook. He inhaled sharply and started to have an asthma attack.
On a very special episode.
And he could feel saliva drip down his chin.
Kelly, this is gonna turn into an episode of that series we were watching yesterday. Sex sent me to the ER. Did I tell you about that, Manuel? We watched a
No.
show called Sex Sent Me to the ER. It's exactly what it sounds like.
Yeah.
It's a very special episode of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure.
Remember that guy who went deaf from fucking?
There's a man who went, like, deaf while he was having sex.
And then he
It was
had
a heat stroke.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn. Jonathan grimaced as Dio began to jerk him off in a way that felt far too good.
Wow.
It was
Yeah, you got magic
obvious.
hands.
It was obvious that after all of their times doing this, Dio knew precisely how he enjoyed it. The feeling was almost too much, and they had barely even started.
What the fuck?
Dio, bro, what the hell?
Yo,
Come on, bro.
fuck that.
Jonathan panted pathetically with his head forced up against the mirror, gritting his teeth again, like this is the third time. The third time they mentioned his teeth, the second time they mentioned him against the mirror. This is very
He's gonna
repetitive.
need, like, a mouth guard. That's not good for his jaw.
I'm gonna need him.
actually-
Yeah, like that girl's jaw from Sex Sent Me to the ER.
There we go. It comes full circle.
Jonathan's got his mouth guard in. Alright, I'm ready.
I find it funny that she dislocated her jaw from kissing too hard.
Oh yeah, totally. Kissing.
That's what the
Yep.
fucking show did.
No, that's no. Don't you remember that when it actually shows her dislocate her jaw, she was actually on her knees?
Was she? I didn't
Yeah, she
catch
was.
that.
Yeah, she was blowing him. They just
I
like
mean, you
they
know,
didn't.
I'm not fucking prudish or anything. I assume that's what would happen. I just thought like the TV cut it out.
No. Like they showed it happening, but like they had like a tree covering the actual act.
A tree?
Yeah.
Maybe she got hit by a tree.
No, Manuel. There is a story that involved a tree, though.
Right.
Involved-
Gritting his teeth
Was
when
that,
a
was that story
particularly.
called Branching Out? I forget what that one was called.
Is this like those old
It's not
those old 90s shows? Like, oh, about people who like almost die but then survive? Like, is it in that style?
Like, I Shouldn't Be Alive. Those
Mhm.
shows.
Yeah.
I Shouldn't Be Alive is not from the 90s.
Oh, it looks like it's from the 90s.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
Oh, Manuel, you would have liked the show. It's a lot. It's very punny.
Yeah, it is.
I,
Like,
I
all the
figured.
dialogue is puns.
All right.
Gritting his teeth when a particularly strong surge of pleasure raked
Rack.
his body. Racked.
Rock.
Still sounds weird.
Rack City, Manuel.
Before long, all he could feel was Dio plunging into him
Oh God.
at the exact right spot.
That is
Get
a
it? Plunging.
bad sentence.
Plunger.
Yeah?
He
Just keep
plunges on
going.
a
Yeah.
toilet.
Yeah.
He tried to postpone it for as long as he could. I take a rain check on this, Dio?
Dio, stop jerking me, bro. Come on.
Come on, bro. It's pretty gay.
He tried to postpone it for as long as as long as possible, but when he finally couldn't take it anymore, he let out a long, low moan as he came. It wasn't long before Dio finished inside of him and got him pregnant.
On a very
Yep.
special episode.
A
He was-
very special episode.
He was relieved when he finally pulled out and let go of him.
Oh my God! A very special episode of 16 and Pregnant.
Dad, I'm pregnant, and Dio's the father. That's bullshit. He's not my kid.
Jonathan straightened himself out, wiping the saliva from his mouth and the cum from his stomach.
Good.
He watched in the mirror as Dio grinned at him once more.
Wait.
No, not the inside of his stomach, Kelly.
No, but it said Dio finished inside of him.
No, but Jonathan did the thing.
It's his own.
Jonathan did the do as well.
Dude, sexy.
It's complicated, man.
Yeah.
It's a complex process.
Ew.
Right. You had better clean yourself up, brother, before. Fuck this.
No, just fuck.
No, I'm done. I'm very done.
God damn it,
No.
dude, you can't leave now. We just went through a whole gay porno.
You'd better clean yourself up before father asks what's taking us so long, brother.
How can you say that word?
You know,
God
it's funny
fucking
because
hell.
this whole fanfic could just be replaced by any two brothers. Like it put whoever you like in here. It's very cookie cutter.
Sam and Dean.
I thought Thor and Loki.
Ragna and Jin.
Although Ragnar had worn a kilt many times in
'Cause
his
of the
life
whole brother
before
thing.
this, never before had he ever felt this exposed. Something about Jin's hands invading his thighs gave him a sense of utter exposure.
See, you could do. See, although you could do the same. Although Thor had worn a kilt many times in his life before this, never before had he felt this exposed.
Something the
Something about
matter?
Loki's hands invading his thighs gave him a sense of utter exposure. See, it's really.
Something the matter, Ragnar.
See, this could be the second Drake and Josh fanfic.
Oh god.
Although Josh had worn a kilt many times in his life before this. Never before
So-
had he ever felt this exposed.
Something about Drake's hands invading his thighs.
Oh god. Oh god.
Do we just
Alright,
find like
Fancy
the
Sheep
perfect
listeners.
fanfic though?
Fancy Sheep
I kinda wanna
listeners, send
save
us your
this.
favorite. Send us your favorite brothers, and we'll read those first two lines.
Oh god. Although Sam had worn a kilt many times before this, never before had he ever felt this exposed. Something about Dean's hands invading his thighs. Ah! Creepy.
In a very special episode.
Supernatural.
Drake and Josh.
Oh boy.
Alright, should we
Yeah.
should we move on?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The next fanfic is. Okay, we're not gonna read the full fanfic because part of it goes into part 4. And we want to respect. Not really. I'm just lazy.
Alright, no, also this episode would drag on even longer than it already is.
I mean, how long is it? Let's check out that here.
It's at 18 minutes.
Check out that mouth. That's not true. That
I
can't
love
be
you.
true.
The
Alright.
boss.
I mean,
Kelly.
it'll make up for last episode. That I haven't even edited that one yet. Which one should I release? This one or the last one?
What was the last one?
Oh
The Folgers commercial.
yeah.
Oh shit.
Wrapping
That
paper.
was
Well, if you're not gonna edit this conversation out, then I think the Folgers commercial first.
I mean, I don't know, Manolo. I think we can release like 3 more episodes before the Folgers commercial one.
Folgers is where the heart is.
Like maybe we should just hold off on Folgers until Christmas.
That's a long time.
That is a lot.
That's the rest of the year, Kelly.
Yeah.
Christmas in July, Kelly.
Oh yeah. All right. That's 3 months.
Alright, we can do that.
All right, that's good.
We'll film like one more episode before that.
I'm glad we're in agreement about this. All right. This is now we're going to archive of our own. That last one was on fanfiction.whatever.
.edu.
.gov.
This is on archive of our own .eu.
Yes.
Anyway.
Wait, who's reading what?
I'll narrate. I want to narrate.
How hot blooded do you think you can get?
Who?
You.
Oh,
Or do you want to go for deep and cool?
no, I don't want to do any more deep voices, please.
Then
I'll go deep.
you're Kakyoin.
I'm cocky on it. Shit.
Let's wait. Kabura, have you ever narrated before?
No, I've never narrated.
Alright, let Kabura narrate. I'll go fucking
Ah,
Kakyoin.
yeah.
I actually do feel like he's narrated, but that's just probably me thinking about him reading things.
I mean,
Oh, yeah, 'cause
he's
I-
definitely read things.
Exactly.
I should
Alright,
read the
so-
job descriptions again.
Oh boy.
Who do you want to be?
I want to be Kekuin. How hot-blooded can you be when you're taking it in the butt? We'll find out. Mythbusters.
I think very.
On a very special episode of Mythbusters.
Some say it's impossible, but we're willing to find out. Can you be hot-blooded while you're taking it up the pooper?
Well, we're scientists at heart, okay?
Yeah.
I'll get a special grant for this.
Jesus Christ.
Alright.
Yeah.
So, next one we're reading is called Heat by Starry Selling. They spelled ceiling wrong.
Star
I like
Iceling.
Oh, shit.
God damn.
Wow. I'm sorry, Mom. Sorry, Dad. Sorry, universe. I've upset my ancestors.
Starriesling? Starry
Right.
chilling.
Starry Chelling. Starry Chelling. Star Riceling. Star Riceling. Summary. Jotaro is tormented by an insane desire. Years later, he starts to recognize the same urge in another.
That's pretty hard to do being, never mind. I'll stop there.
It was only after fighting that he got those sorts of urges. It had to be the lingering swirl of adrenaline in his blood that was responsible. Action wanting to dovetail into another kind of action.
Any kind.
Jotaro was perfectly capable of containing his urges, and they usually faded after he calmed down. That was the problem with Kakyoin. Nothing had calmed him down since the moment they met. That had to be why the heat he was feeling wouldn't go away.
It was the heat of the moment.
Take
How
me now,
many
Jotaro.
supernatural references are we gonna make?
Jotaro, take me now.
It's
They're
a
literally,
super.
they're literally in heat.
It's a supernatural sex brought me to the ER moment.
Yeah.
Crossover thing.
It wasn't the first time. He had first felt that heat after taking out a few thugs that had been using an upperclassman from his middle school as a punching bag. Jotaro could only remember the older boy leaning against the brick wall in that narrow alley, panting for breath and pinching his nose to stop the bleeding. His shirt had been ripped, buttons missing, his chest already bruising visibly. The only thing that had been able to tear Jotaro's eyes away from the sight was the insane desire to kiss those split, bruised lips.
Jotaro, are you gay? Jotaro, you have a daughter.
He'd seen that same boy a few times after. We're not gonna
just silence.
we're not gonna address that.
Nah.
He'd seen that same boy a few times after, but the feeling of wanting to touch him was never so strong again. It was only in the back of his head, nothing more than a wisp of an urge that pictured him pushing his upperclassman against the wall, twisting his fingers in dry, bleached hair, and grinding his body as close as he could possibly get.
That sounds really weird because Jotaro's like as wide as a barn.
Jotaro took that as proof it wasn't something he needed to act on. It was only powerful enough to make his hands quiver when he was already burning with the heat of a fight.
The heat of a moment.
Is Star Platinum gay too?
I mean, by proxy, right?
I think so. do they have sex with their stands? Like
That's weird.
can Star Platinum run his fingers through
Higher up in
through
the
people's hair? Yeah, through Elephant Green's
feel like-
non-existing hair.
Yeah,
I feel like
maybe.
there's an anime where that happens. Is there an
What?
anime where that or like a
Yeah, it's,
manga where they
it's
have
called
like
JoJo's Bizarre Adventure.
no, where they have like some form of like proxy individual to represent them, and they like
Oh yeah, that's
They-
Surrogate with Bruce Willis.
actually yeah, shitty movie, but you know.
Uh,
I hated that movie.
what, Surrogate?
Yeah, who the hell remembers that movie?
I mean, I remember it enough.
Kelly, you have good memory.
Do I?
Yeah.
Who are you?
Kakyoin shouldn't have fueled the energy of his insane desires. He looked calm and
Kakyoin.
confident after a fight. He never let himself get ruffled for ruffled.
Russell?
Ruffled.
You're ruffling my Kakyoins.
Your khakis. I feel like Kakyoin's nickname should be khakis. Khakis. Kakyois.
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 Just the full name, just replace the N. Kakyois. Oh boy.
Anyways. It was so rare for him to be out of breath and bloodied after a battle, yet Jotaro wanted him anyway.
Yes.
Maybe Kakyoin didn't need to look good with blood on his face for that rush of exertion to center on him.
I guess.
What? Whatever it was that drove him, Jotaro was sure could have held back that urge indefinitely if Kakyoin hadn't made the first move. It had been one of the nights they actually got to spend in a hotel.
Wow.
Jotaro was already half asleep on the bed when Kakyoin sat down next to him, leaning over him, touching Jotaro's chin with his thumb to tilt his face up.
Wait, who's talking? I got lost.
This is
it's me.
Kakyoin.
Do you want to share
Okay.
the bed?
He'd asked. As if they had a choice. It was either share or go down the hall and share with Polnareff.
And no one wants to be with that faggot.
And at least Kakyoin slept quietly.
I don't mind.
That's not the answer I was looking for.
Jotaro felt something moving under him, something long, thin, and supple, yet hard enough to apply pressure. Wait, thin? But it's also supple.
But it's also
It's
a
Hierophant
penis.
Green. Oh, it is! Oh, no, keep reading.
It is Hierophant Green. Oh my
Yet
god.
hard enough. It took a minute to realize Hierophant Green's tendrils had slipped up under him on the bed and were now pressing into his body from below.
If you want to sleep with me, it has to be yes or no.
Kakyoin told him.
We don't have time for anything else.
Thinking Kakyoin was trying to challenge him for the right to sleep in the bed, Jotaro let out Star Platinum. He didn't actually attack Kakyoin yet, just let Star Platinum grab him by the shoulders and hold him up.
And then pile drive them. I'm sleeping in the bed. Oh. Can you feel everything your stand feels? Oh my god.
Kakyoin purred low in his throat. You have to purr it, Kelly.
Can you feel everything your stand feels? Baby? Like, what do you want from me?
Yeah, you have to go back in your throat, Kelly.
You have to sound like a smoker.
Can you feel everything you
Oh, I have to sound like a smoker? Okay, here. Hi.
Oh, Kelly.
Can you...
I think we should just move on. Yeah.
Just
To
keep going.
Jotaro's surprise, Kakyoin leaned his full body into Star Platinum. He was not letting up at all with his own stand, which kept pressing into and wrapping around sensitive parts of Jotaro's body.
Like the left pinky.
parts.
Quote unquote.
Like
In
behind
the
the
next-
right kneecap.
Right. In the next moment, Kakyoin was kissing Star Platinum's hard mouth. Jotaro could see it, could feel a ghost of that kiss pressing to his own mouth, but he couldn't seem to feel it well enough to satisfy.
Dot, dot,
When
dot, dot.
When Jotaro dropped his stand, Kakyoin fell into him so that their mouths nearly collided for real.
Whoa.
Like they almost kissed for real.
Yeah, he just kissed Star Platinum. That's not weird.
And Star Platinum was like, no, that's gay.
No, that's gay. He disappears.
Jotaro, please.
He only just held himself off, looking seriously into Jotaro's eyes.
Yes or no?
Yes.
Jotaro didn't realize he was going to say it until it came out. The next
Yeah.
instant... What?
Yeah.
The next instant, Kakyoin was on him, kissing him hard and rubbing into him with no shame. Zero shame. The
goddamn
heat
harlot.
Okay, Cabrera, to picture this in your mind, just imagine two brick walls rubbing against each other. That's what it looks like.
I've seen what these two people look like. They're quite a pair. Like, I'm scared.
Walls rubbing.
I'm scared for the bed.
That is
I think
the
that's the
best.
real victim here. The real
Th-
victim.
There are people who are into this stuff, Cabrera. Don't judge.
They're so large though.
Oh,
Like
dude.
they're just. That's a
that's
thing
Farah.
with JoJo's. Everybody's so large.
Yeah, they are.
How old are they? Like 15? 16?
Jotaro's-
Bullshit.
Jotaro's 18, pretty sure.
Jotaro.
Are you googling this? I can find out for you.
No, I'm just looking at pictures of Jotaro now
he's-
because I can't
he's
fucking
17
believe this.
right now at the time of this.
Oh.
He's so large.
He's 41 to 42, part 6.
His face has
Bullshit.
three distinct. His face has three distinct sections. Like they have lines. Oh my
Okay.
God.
Let's finish this.
3 sections.
He's 29 in part 4. I can believe that.
Listeners reading along, I'm sorry that you can tell that there's only like 1.5 paragraphs left.
Can they?
Yeah.
Pretty sure we could drag this out.
Yeah. Right. The heat that had been
Although
building
Jonathan
inside.
had Warren killed many times in his life before had he ever... Okay.
The heat that had been building inside boiled over at last,
Name
holding
drop.
it back. No, I'm done. Bullshit. I can't even read a goddamn sentence.
I can't even read two guys fucking each other without. Is there no integrity, sir?
Guys, can we have some sense of professionalism here? There are two men that are clearly in the middle of an intimate situation. We need to be professional about this.
I think Kakyoin
Where's
could
he-
get pregnant if he tried.
Where's your integrity, Kelly?
What?
Where's your integrity?
I don't know. I'm trying to think of pregnant Kakyoin.
I think he can get pregnant.
Maybe. Can Hierophant Green get pregnant?
I think so.
Is
Let's
this
test
canon?
this. Mythbusters.
All right, yeah.
Let's test the
let's write.
untestable.
Let's write to the authors. I almost asked them, are they still alive? Yeah, they're still alive.
Well, no.
Alright, for some reason, I think JoJo's Bizarre Adventure is fucking ancient.
Because it is.
Yeah, 80s.
But, like, even more ancient.
Since ancient times.
Like, fucking Astro Boy came out, then JoJo's... They did a crossover. Alright,
It was written in the Old Testament, the JoJo's Bizarre Adventure.
Ah, yes, the Book of Jotaro, of course.
I'd read that.
It's the missing chapter of the Bible, guys.
I want to read about a Joestar fighting Jesus.
What if Jesus was a Joestar?
Oh my god. Jesus Joestar.
Shit. Okay. Where were we even?
The heat that had been building.
The heat that had been building inside boiled over at last. Holding it back didn't matter anymore. Kakyoin was there, taking all of his heat and giving it back to him 100-fold. My god, they're defying thermodynamics. Guys, we found the Jesus particle.
God. I like
It was in
God.
Jotaro's dick the whole time.
It's sexual tension between the gays.
That's why the Christians want to stop it. They know the power it holds.
That's it, guys. You heard it from Fancy Sheep first.
Oh my god, the Illuminati's gonna shut us down.
They're gonna
Shit.
fucking shut us down. Like, the one listener we have is gonna be an Illuminati. He's gonna be like, shit.
God damn it.
They found out.
I had to listen to all this bullshit. And they actually know? Fuck.
Shit.
Alright.
It didn't matter if they were exhausted and sweaty to start and fell back on the bed, too tired to do more than breathe after. That was a weird sentence.
Yeah.
That hot, painful desire to touch had finally found an outlet. Kakyoin accepted all of it and gave him pleasure in return. Jotaro could never forget the way that felt.
Reunited and it feels so good.
I feel like there should be some, like, really shitty, like, early 70s funk here, or, like, early 70s soul music.
That's not even. That's not anything. I know where that's from, but
That's not it. Well,
I don't think that matches.
Jolene, Fly High with
We've been
Gucci is a
feeling
new
so
full-color
hot.
one-shot manga starring Jolene Fujo, featured in its February
Baby.
2013 issue of Shueisha.
Kakyoin, you're
Woman's
just
fashion.
so hot. Ooh, ooh. Baby, just come over here and let me feel your heat. Mm-mm. That'd be one of those soul songs that has a monologue midway through
Oh my
between
God.
Jotaro and Kakyoin.
Well, I can't not imagine a brick wall of a jacket and a brick wall of hair.
Shit. Just kind of like grinding awkwardly.
So good.
Like you could hear the cement like just grinding against each other.
Oh my God.
When they actually get it on, it sounds like a fucking...
Like a pebble
fucking-
grinding against a slightly coarser pebble.
No, it sounds like a fucking one of those drills. The
Oh my God. So that was Fancy Sheep Reads, episode Who Cares? Alright, stop.
Oh wait, I need to stop it.